The last demo is about latest on building Microsoft Viva extensibility with the SharePoint Framework, and we're going to talk about what's happening there. Now, first of all, SharePoint Framework, it is the easiest way to build your enterprise solutions within the Microsoft 365, and it is evolving. It's already used by tens of millions of monthly active users worldwide, and it has been really, well, the growth has been phenomenal from an adoption perspective. The beauty of the SharePoint Framework is that you can actually build the SharePoint Framework without worrying about single sign-on, without worrying about where the code is being hosted. So, which is almost the same thing as Power Platform. But if you're building a scenario or hosting something in Azure, that might get complicated for some of the customers or for you, for your company as well, depending on scenario, of course. It has consistent dev scenario using TypeScript and web stack development tooling, and it's using the industry standard tooling as mentioned. Now, on the previous demo within this call, we saw a live demo on Share SDK, Live Share SDK. Live Share SDK, as an example, is completely supported to be used with SharePoint Framework with the latest version of 1.17.x. So it's evolving all the time. The beauty of SharePoint Framework is that you can use the same extensibility model and the same code across multiple different applications across Microsoft 365. And you can build even SharePoint Framework solutions using Teams Toolkit. You can build it using SharePoint Framework Yeoman Generator, or you can use the Microsoft Viva Toolkit as well, which is a community-driven Visual Studio Code extension. So there's a lot of option, a lot of commitment, and a lot of scenarios. And the key here is the reusability of the code. So you can actually use the same code, same experience across multiple different applications, not only just in SharePoint, but also in Teams, also in Outlook, in Microsoft 365 app, and in Microsoft Viva, which is the topic of this demo. Now, just a quick recap on what is the Microsoft Viva, and this is an integrated employee experience platform which empowers people and teams to be their best. That's a really, really nice marketing statement, but basically it is an employee experience platform providing you a set of modules. Some of those modules are free. Some of those modules have a license associated to them. There's also the Viva, Microsoft Viva, the family licensing behind the scenes. I'm not going to talk about licensing in this call because it's also a bit complicated topic always, but you can use SharePoint Framework to extend especially Viva Connection within this all-up Microsoft Viva scenarios. And Viva Connection is also the home of Microsoft Viva, and we will see that within the upcoming slides and also within a demo. So depending on which Viva modules you have actually bought, you will see those modules to be available within Microsoft Viva Connection, and you can actually see the capabilities lighting up in the Microsoft Viva Connection for both desktop and mobile workers. The mobile scenario here is the key. So the Microsoft Viva is also targeted natively to support frontline workers who might not sit in the front of the desktop computers 8 hours in a day or throughout their working day. So it's really flexible platform adapting based on the end user, based on the device, what is available. And you can extend that. And you can extend that using SharePoint Framework as mentioned. Now, what do we have on the Viva Home or Viva Connection? So this is the Viva Connection. This is a kind of a graphical view on that. A picture view on that. I will show a live one, but I will call out a few things from here. So first of all, the Viva Connection or Viva Home experience, it will have the header section, which will include all of the different Viva modules based on the licensing, which have been bought to this particular tenant. So you can easily access from one centralized location all of the Microsoft Viva experiences directly within the Microsoft Teams, because Microsoft Viva builds on top of Microsoft Teams, and it actually, from an extensibility perspective, it's really there to drive adoption of Microsoft Teams platform as well. Now, what we also can do here is that we can design our personalized company-specific dashboard. So a mobile experience, a mobile targeted experience, which also is available in desktop. So you can design what are the cards and experiences, what are we exposing here. You can actually target those based on a role, based on the other attributes of the user as well. So the managers could see a different set of cards than the employees who are employed within the company. And then we also have the feed, which includes SharePoint stream and Yammer content personalized for each user. So basically being a one feed where you can see, okay, what's happening within the company. Oh, that's a really cool thing. Somebody created a new news article or new content in somewhere. I can go easily access that. I can like the things. I can bookmark items from a feed as well. And then we also have the company resources available within this homepage as well. So we can access easily the main frequently used sites. You can access easily the followed sites and also the company resources from a mobile-friendly experience. That's actually really, really cool. And if you're looking into getting more on a SharePoint portal and global portals, this obviously links into the connected Viva connected home site, so you can access the SharePoint portal and a global intranet directly from the Microsoft Viva connection experience as well. Now, as we start designing experience and extensibility for that dashboard area explicitly, you're seeing those individual cards and designs there. Well, this works in a way that we provide you a set of designs by default or set of layouts for those cards, which you can take advantage. Right now, the set of layouts are a bit limited. We're looking into adding additional layouts in future. I'm going to show some of that as a teaser within this quick demo as well. But basically, you design what is the card, what is the thing, what is available for end user. And of course, the card can be completely dynamic. It can change the image, it can change the text dynamically as well. And then the question is, what happens when I click the button? When I click the button, we have a flexibility of using adaptive card experiences of designing a really kind of a quick view or quick operation, which are visible for the mobile or desktop experiences. And I'll show this one in practice in the demo, so it makes more sense. But basic idea here is that rather than redirecting the user to a complex Microsoft Teams application, which has too many operations, too many things, we surface cards which are targeted for the operations relevant for the role. And let me actually explain that a bit. So if you have if you have implemented a Microsoft Teams solution, explicit solution for an explicit scenario, like in this case, we have a Microsoft Teams solution being accessed through desktop and also through the mobile experience. In your company, you might have actually tens of Microsoft Teams solutions, hopefully in place. And as you have this solution, you can start designing what would be the suitable cards for the dashboard, so that within the company mobile portal and in the default welcome page, the Viva connection page, we can actually surface the relevant information based on a role and based on the behavior what we want. So rather than always saying, well, you need to find the solution, you need to go to the solution and click a button there, we can surface the relevant actions and the quick actions directly within the Viva connection. And then the quick view is there to give you the relevant, most common action rather than forcing redirection to the Microsoft Teams. So that's kind of a cool way of having the mobile first experience within a mobile. And again, I'll show that one in practice in a second. Now, what's new in here is that we do have a new partner opportunity. So pretty recently, starting a few weeks back, we can actually expose also Microsoft Viva offerings directly within the AppSource, so in the Microsoft Store. So as long as you build a SharePoint Framework solution, which contains an ACE, that's an adaptive card extension, which is targeted for Viva, and it will automatically be listed under Viva section in the marketplace. And we're seeing more and more application providers in here, which is great. Any existing solution which is in a store, however, needs to be resubmitted. So basically, this detection of that component type happens as part of the submission pipeline. And that's why we see a bit less listed in here than in the SharePoint store from that side. But this is a really great, cool new opportunity for developers. Now, let me do a really quick demo on the Viva within this Microsoft Teams site. So in here, we're in Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Viva is really there to provide you the corporate landing page, which is, again, personalized based on a role, personalized based on the company. So I can easily modify, for example, the section. I can change the image to be based on my branding. In the future, we can do more branding elements in here as well. I can, of course, modify the dashboard based on my business requirements and based on the roles. And here, I can go to my dashboard designer, and let's actually add one example dashboard, which is retail. Inventory in here, for example, for the frontline workers in our company. Let's say imaginary Contoso retail company, which is having many stores, and the clerks within the store are connected to the company communications through a mobile phone and a Teams rather than desktop. So let's actually give them the targeted experience within the retail, within the mobile experience. So that's the retail experience. Let me republish. And basic idea here is that from the desktop, I can get access on the information. I can list, for example, the information relevant for the business. Or if I'm in the desktop, I can, of course, use the full Microsoft Teams solution as well to get access on the inventory. But again, the most important thing here is to remember that it's all about that mobile experience as well. So taking into account those mobile frontline workers and making sure that our employees in the desktop and our employees in actually have the same experience. So here we are in Viva Connection. Here we are in Viva Connection in the mobile phone and a mobile experience. And you can actually see the same dashboard to be available. And these are the quick views and quick cards available in my iOS experience. So this is actually the mobile experience which I recorded directly from my mobile phone. So this way you can actually provide that connection for the frontline workers and people who prefer or who use mobile phone to get connected on company assets, rather than always assuming that they have a desktop, because that's not always the case. Help desk, submission forms, all of that would be a great examples of providing in the Viva connection. And all of those cards, as we can see here, can be built using a SharePoint framework. I'm not going to deep dive on how, because we do have a lot of assets available on how in our documentation. But a lot of cool things and options to get started on building things. Now, I will get one more in here. From a timing perspective, we are pretty short. We will talk about the future of ACES and Viva and all of these options more detailed in upcoming calls as well, for sure. But we're looking into providing additional card types. We shared this one first time in Las Vegas a few weeks back. So we're looking into having, for example, a text box search options directly within a card view, also large cards and graphic cards and chart cards directly within the Viva connection. So you can actually build much more compelling and dynamic dashboards, which can then link to Microsoft Teams application or Power Apps natively supported directly in the dashboard as well. So if you have a set of Power Apps within a company, you can easily collect them to be available in the dashboard and target them based on the roles and profiles, and then get them visible for users. So really cool scenarios and more to come in here as well. Now, there's a lot of things available and assets available in the Viva connection. Extensibility, thank you, David, just shared the links. A lot of assets, a lot of information. But if you're interested, please have a look on that. We're always interested also on your feedback. What you need to get started, and maybe we should be covering a bit more detailed, again, those scenarios within this weekly call, what we can provide within the dashboard and how things are working.